I'm a professor of nuclear engineering, and one of the things that I look at is what's the learning curve, what's the curve of innovation, and the small modular nuclear companies, the Terra Powers, the Tri Alphas, a whole bunch of companies supported by some billionaires, which really helps because they don't have to wait around for federal money to take the next step. They're banking on new technology, which basically will start to be installed in 2026. That's when TerraPower's first reactor will go into Idaho. They're banking on small reactors work well, and we now get on a learning curve where they get cheaper over time, whereas nuclear in the past has been on a forgetting curve. It's gotten more expensive over time because of security issues and risk issues. I want nuclear to be part of that mix, but they have to earn it. And they have to earn it by being able to demonstrate that these small plants that would make my life so much easier, right? My analytic work on clean energy and also my kind of policy work in US and China and elsewhere. If if low cost, reliable, entirely safe nuclear can prove itself out, this is wonderful because now process heat, there's lots of other benefits. There's a lot of big ifs. And since the US hasn't built a new nuclear plant since 96, and since the latest nuclear plants to go in Europe have all been so massively expensive that they require incredible bailouts before they start, it is going to depend on just what you said. It's going to have to be a new generation of technology and a new generation of financing. And I guess the last part of that is that big traditional nukes simply don't play very well with renewables and storage. They want very steady baseload contracts where they're basically guaranteed a spot at the table first among equals. That's not the energy world we're moving into, where you need to compete around price and low carbon. And the metric for low carbon is not just the kilowatt hour generated, it's the life cycle. And that's why when you do a map of where energy, which technology is cheapest around the country, you find there's a small area in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan where nuclear would be the least cost, but it doesn't include the waste part of that cost. And that's not playing fair with the numbers. So nuclear has a real big hill to climb, but I have never been more enthusiastic about the new technologies. And actually, this is the not popular opinion. I actually think that 2050, 2060, we're going to think about a world that is dominated by fusion, not fission, but a lot of that fusion is going to be 93 million miles away. It's going to be solar power. And then we're going to start to build fusion reactors in that 20, 50, 60, 70 ballpark when I'm unfortunately no longer going to get to watch and see what happens. But